First of all, the translation of this verse. The whole verse will be read and translated for the benefit of the English-speaking people. They should understand the question and also the meaning of the verse. Allah ya'malu ma ta'malu kullu untha wa ma taghidu al-arham wa ma tazwaj wa kullu shay'in 'indahu bi miqdar alimul ghaybi wash shahadati al-kabir al-muta'al sawa'un minkum man asarra al-qawla wa man jahara bihi wa man huwa mustakhfin bil-layli wa saribun bin-nahar lahu mu'aqibatun min bayni yadayhi wa min khalfihi yahfazunahu min amrillah إن الله لا يغير ما بقوم حتى يغيروا ما بأنفسهم وإذا أراد الله بقوم سوءا فلا مرد له وما لهم من دونه من وال. This is the full verse to which you refer. Read the translation.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Allah knows what every female bears and what the wombs render defective and discard and what they cause to grow, and with him everything has a proper measure. Alimul ghaybi wa shahada, he is the knower of the unseen and the seen, and incomparably great, the Most High. Sawa'un minkum man asarra al-qawla wa man jahara bihi, he among you who utters his word secretly and he who utters it openly are equal in his knowledge. And also he who hides by night and he who goes forth openly by day. Lahu mu'aqibatun min bayni yadayhi wa min khalfihi. For him, the messenger, is a succession of angels before him and behind him. They guard him by the command of Allah. Surely Allah changes not the condition of a people until they change that which is in their hearts. And when Allah decides to punish a people, there is no repelling it, nor have they any helper beside him.
Now this is one translation which has added by way of explanation the word prophet, as though this verse applies only to the Holy Prophet of Islam sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he is being guarded by a procession of angels who are behind him and those who walk ahead of him. Now this could be just one of the interpretations, but not all the interpretation of this verse. In fact, the apparent meaning of this verse should be applied to everyone, because the verse begins with the declaration that whoever hides what he may, or whoever discloses what he likes, is alike in the sight of Allah. There is no difference. So it is not Ahmad sallallahu alaihi wasallam who concealed things from God, whoever attempted to conceal things from God, because like that verse declares just before it, Alimul ghaybi wa shahada. How could Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam even remotely think of hiding anything from the God whom he knew best, that he is Alimul ghaybi wa shahada. So the first application should be the common application to everyone, all humans. And every human is being guarded physically. When you extend the meaning to Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you can only do it in spiritual sense, in his capacity as a prophet. But that is a different story. I don't want to explain that for the time being. What I want to explain, which as you apparently have inquired from me, is the meaning of that hifzullah, the protection of God, and from what? Now this is what I have spoken of previously as well in one of my sermons and during my one of my verses, that this is a very profound verse which has to be understood calmly and with deep contemplation. The fact is that life as we know here is endangered at every second of its existence, from behind and from front. That is to say, we breathe apparently automatically without any danger. But the scientists now have discovered that every thought that passes our mind, it can cause instantaneous death, if not protected by God against that possibility, that probability. Every thought we have entertained releases a procession of messages through our nervous system. And the nervous system, as I am thinking now, is conveying everything to my whole body, what I am thinking of, and also is bringing back to me all my past memories regarding the question I am discussing. It's a fantastic world which God has created within humans. But the most important thing which has come to light only recently during the current age is the fact that every movement of the thought or feeling carried from the mind to the organs or from organs to mind runs through a long chain of nerve cells. Each cell is attached to another, and so millions upon millions of cells are involved in conveying the message. The moment the message is passed on to the other cell, that chemical which is responsible for doing this is discharged, finished. Immediately it has to be recharged and replaced by something else, or the man will die, the person will die. So every split second there are angels of death which are following us, behind us and in front of us. So this is the decree of Allah. So nothing can save life from the decree of Allah but another decree of Allah. So it is not said يَحْفَظُونَهُ بِأَمْرِ اللَّهِ. This should be remembered by all the Arabic knowing people, that read the Quran, and if you want to express that with the command of Allah, in this context min is not used. It is be. Sila, be is used. The verse should have said يَحْفَظُونَهُ بِأَمْرِ اللَّهِ. Of course بِأَمْرِ اللَّهِ, but the word min is used, which carries both meanings together, while the word be does not carry these two meanings. Min amrillah may mean be amrillah, and min amrillah also mean from amrillah, from the decree of God with the decree of God. This is the meaning, that you think you are living continuously, automatically, you know. Very stupid of you to think of that. Every split second of your existence, you are facing death from all sides. The heart can fail, the liver can collapse, anything can happen to you. But this is the decree of God. None can save you from the decree of God but the decree of God. So these angels are protective angels. Those angels from which the danger comes are the angels of death. They perform their duty simultaneously, and the angels of protection perform their duties. So as long as Allah decides such humans to remain alive, the decree of life becomes transcendent. The moment he withdraws that decree, the decree of death works and nobody can escape it. This is the meaning. له معقبات من بين يديه ومن خلفه يحفظونه من أمر الله إن الله لا يغير ما بقوم حتى يغيروا ما بأنفسهم. But when Allah decides that they should go, فإذا أراد الله بقوم سوءا فلا مرد له فما لهم من دونه من وال. This is the meaning of min amrillah. Except by God, nobody can save them from the decision of God when He has decided to destroy them. إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُغَيِّرُ مَا بِقَوْمٍ حَتَّى يُغَيِّرُ مَا بِأَنفُسِهِمْ. After this, remember this. وَإِذَا أَرَادَ اللَّهُ بِقَوْمٍ سُوءًا فَلَا مَرَدَّ لَهُ فَمَا لَهُم مِّن دُونِهِ مِّن وَالٍ. Arad Allah is one thing, and He becoming wall is another thing. So when God has decided to destroy people, only God can save them from His own decree and nothing else can. This is exactly how I have translated the verse min amrillah. For that, I also added that is not the only door from which death can visit you. Death surrounds you from all sides. Life is an exception, death is a rule. Anybody can die of so many different causes. The heart can suddenly cease to beat without any apparent cause. The roof can fall upon. The earth can swallow people. Earthquakes come. Other accidents take place. So man is surrounded by all sides with death. His life is a miracle. Death is a law, but the law created by God. So this law can only be defeated by another law of God. This is what I said, min amrillah, be amrillah wa min amrillah, both meanings are found together in this word min. And the end part of the verse also supports this view, which says, وَإِذَا أَرَادَ اللَّهُ بِقَوْمٍ سُوءًا فَلَا مَرَدَّ لَهُ فَمَا لَهُم مِّن دُونِهِ مِّن وَالٍ. Against the irada of God, it is God Himself who can save, not nobody else. So the previous meaning is supported by the end part of this verse.